What if the reason you can't heal your deepest emotional wounds isn't because you haven't worked hard enough, but because you've been treating an energetic frequency like a physical defect? In the next hour, we are uncovering the hidden intersection of quantum mechanics, cellular memory, and human resonance. You are about to discover why trauma is not stored as a memory, but as a standing wave of unresolved frequency, and how a single shift in your vibrational baseline can instantaneously collapse old relational patterns, heal generational wounds, and recalibrate your nervous system from the inside out. The illusion of separation and the physics of trauma. Every culture, every mystic tradition, and now the frontiers of quantum physics point to a single, undeniable truth. Everything at its fundamental level is in a state of vibration. When you look at your physical body in the mirror, your eyes tell you a convenient biological lie. You see solid flesh, distinct boundaries, and isolated organs. But zoom in past the organ, past the tissue, past the cellular structure, past the DNA, and enter the subatomic realm. What is there? 99.9999% empty space. And that empty space isn't empty at all. It is a fluctuating sea of informational fields, oscillating energy, and quantum probabilities. Why does this matter for your emotional pain, your anxiety, or that broken relationship you can't seem to fix? Because for decades, modern psychology has taught us to treat emotional trauma purely through the cognitive layer, talking about the story, analyzing the childhood memory, rationalizing why someone hurt us. Yet, millions of people spend 5, 10, 15 years in talk therapy only to find that their chest still tightens when they hear a specific tone of voice. Their nervous system still enters fight or flight when a partner withdraws. Their body still vibrates with grief, shame, or abandonment. Why? Because trauma does not live in your intellect. Trauma lives as a trapped energetic frequency within your biofield and cellular architecture. When an event overwhelms your nervous system's capacity to process it in real time, the energetic charge is not discharged. It gets frozen in the body's electromagnetic lattice. In quantum terms, it forms a localized, coherent distortion, a standing wave that continuously broadcasts a signal of danger, lack, or grief into the quantum field. And because, like attracts, like across all harmonic oscillators, that frozen frequency becomes a magnet. It literally organizes the reality around you to match its broadcast. The quantum field of emotion and the observer effect. To understand how vibrational alignment heals this, we have to look at two foundational principles of modern physics: the wave-particle duality and the observer effect. First, let's explore the wave-particle duality of human emotion. In quantum mechanics, subatomic particles exist as infinite possibilities, pure wave functions, until they are measured or observed. Once observed, the wave collapses into a single, concrete physical particle. Your emotions behave in the exact same way. In its natural state, pure emotion is meant to be a wave, energy in motion. It enters your field, rises in intensity, peaks, discharges, and returns to the 0-point baseline within roughly 90 seconds. However, when you resist an emotion, judge it, or suppress it because it feels unsafe, you collapse that fluid wave into a dense particle of stored biological charge. That particle becomes physical density, muscle tension, visceral constriction, chronic inflammation, and autonomic dysregulation. Second, consider the observer effect in memory loops. In the famous double-slit experiment, the act of conscious observation directly alters the behavior of subatomic particles. When you sit in your room ruminating over a betrayal, a heartbreak, or a childhood wound, what are you actually doing? You are using your conscious attention, the most powerful quantum observation tool in existence, to observe an old memory through the exact same filter of fear, anger, or victimhood. Every time you observe that memory through the same emotional filter, three things happen. 1. You collapse the quantum wave into the exact same biochemical reality. 2. Your brain triggers the exact same cascade of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, inflammatory cytokines, as if the trauma were occurring right now in physical space. 3. Your biofield broadcasts the exact same distorted frequency. You are not merely remembering the past, you are actively recreating it in the quantum present. You cannot heal a frequency while maintaining resonance with the problem. You cannot step into a new reality while carrying the electromagnetic signature of your old identity, cellular memory, heart coherence, and relational entanglement. Now let's look at the biology of how this vibration radiates outwards into your relationships. For generations, we were taught that the brain is the ultimate command center of human experience. But pioneering biofield research and modern cardiological studies have demonstrated something extraordinary. The human heart's electromagnetic field is up to 5,000 times stronger magnetically and 60 times stronger electrically than the field generated by the brain. This field extends anywhere from 3 to 10 feet outside your physical body in a continuous toroidal vortex. More importantly, this field carries information. It contains emotional frequencies that are literally readable by the nervous systems of every person around you. Have you ever walked into a room where two people just had a massive argument, and even though nobody is speaking, the air feels thick and heavy? You aren't imagining things. Your nervous system is decoding the chaotic electromagnetic broadcast of their heart fields. This brings us to the quantum entanglement of relationships. In physics, quantum entanglement dictates that once two particles interact and become entangled, a change in the state of one particle instantly influences the other, regardless of physical distance. When you enter an intimate relationship, share vulnerability, or experience shared emotional trauma with someone, your electromagnetic and informational fields become quantumly entangled. This explains why you suddenly receive a text message from an ex the exact moment you finally let go of them energetically. It explains why a partner becomes distant or irritated not because of what you said, but because they are subconsciously picking up your fear of abandonment. It explains why you keep attracting the exact same emotional dynamic in different bodies, the emotionally unavailable partner, the narcissist, or the dynamic where you have to constantly overextend yourself. You do not attract what you consciously want. You attract what your biofield is resonant with. If your baseline vibration is calibrated to the subconscious belief, I am only worthy of love if I fix others, your biofield acts as a beacon for people who require fixing. To change the external reflection in your relationships, you do not need to manipulate, convince, or change the other person. You have to change your fundamental broadcast, the 5-step vibrational alignment protocol. So how do we move from the theoretical physics of healing into direct, somatic, life-altering application? Here is the exact 5-step protocol for locating, neutralizing, and recalibrating emotional trauma and relational wounds. Step 1. Somatic location and quantum collapsing trauma cannot be healed in the mind because the mind lives in narratives. You must bring your awareness out of the storyline and directly into the somatic sensations of the body. Next time you feel triggered, whether it's jealousy, fear, unworthiness, or anger, close your eyes and completely stop the mental movie. Do not ask, "Why did they do this to me?" or "What does this mean about my future?" Instead, ask yourself the quantum question, where in my physical body does this energy have physical coordinates? Is it a tight fist in your solar plexus, a burning sensation in your throat, a frozen heaviness on your chest? Give it exact physical attributes. What shape is it? What temperature? Is it stationary or pulsing? By observing the raw physical sensation without attaching a mental story, you stop feeding the loop. You shift from being trapped inside the trauma to being the conscious quantum observer. Step 2. Entering the 0 point, neutral observation. In quantum field theory, the 0 point field is the state of lowest possible energy where all infinite potential exists. In human consciousness, the 0 point is the space of unconditional, non-judgmental awareness. Most people make the mistake of trying to immediately force positivity over their trauma, repeating affirmations like, "I am happy, I am worthy," while their body is screaming in terror. This creates vibrational dissonance. The nervous system knows it is a contradiction. Instead of trying to change the feeling, wrap it in total neutral allowance. Say internally to the sensation, I see you. You have permission to exist here for as long as you need. When you remove resistance, the dense particle of trauma naturally begins to destabilize. Without your resistance holding it in place, it begins returning to its original fluid wave state. Step 3. Heart-brain coherence calibration. Once the emotional charge has been neutralized, you must introduce a higher harmonic frequency to rewrite the baseline. Focus your attention entirely on the center of your chest, right in the heart space. Breathe in for a count of 5 seconds through the nose, imagining the breath entering directly through your heart. Exhale for a count of 5 seconds through the nose, imagining the breath leaving directly through your heart. While maintaining this rhythmic breathing, intentionally generate a high vibrational emotional state, deep gratitude, reverence, compassion, or awe. This practice shifts your heart rate variability into a rhythmic, coherent 0.1 Hz frequency. This coherent electromagnetic wave cascades through every cell in your body, signaling your autonomic nervous system that you are completely safe. Step 4. Quantum superposition and identity transmutation. In quantum mechanics, superposition means a system exists in all possible states simultaneously until selected by the observer. In your life, there is a timeline where you remain trapped in generational heartbreak and trauma, and there is a parallel timeline where your biofield is completely integrated, magnetizing deep, conscious, reciprocal love and peace. While in heart-brain coherence, do not hope for healing in some distant future. In the quantum field, time is non-linear. The past, present, and future are simultaneous. Step into the emotional frequency of the healed state now. What does your body feel like when love is safe? How do your shoulders sit? How deep is your breath? You must generate the elevated emotion before the physical condition changes. You are teaching your body chemically and energetically what your future feels like before it materializes in physical reality. Step 5. Somatic anchoring. A frequency shift will only last a few minutes unless it is anchored into your physical neural architecture and muscle memory. As you feel the peak sensation of coherence and peace, place your hand firmly over the center of your chest or gently squeeze your thumb and index finger together. Take a deep, resonant breath and anchor that sensation into your physical body. When you open your eyes, you do not look at your world through the lens of your past wound. You carry that new baseline into every conversation, every text message, and every decision you make throughout your day. Healing relationships through sympathetic resonance. Let's address the most common question people ask when they begin vibrational work. Can I use this to heal my relationship with my partner, my parent, or someone who hurt me deeply? The answer is both profoundly liberating and confronting. Yes, but not by trying to change them. Consider the law of harmonic resonance in physics. If you have 2 tuning forks in a room, both calibrated to the frequency of 440 Hz, and you strike only one fork, the second tuning fork across the room will begin to vibrate and hum at the exact same pitch without anyone touching it. This is sympathetic resonance. However, if the second fork is calibrated to 528 Hz, you can strike the first fork as hard as you want. The second fork will remain completely silent. There is no resonance. In your relationships, whenever an argument occurs or an old toxic pattern plays out, 2 tuning forks are striking each other. One person's wound, such as fear of control or defensiveness, strikes the other person's wound, such as fear of abandonment or rejection. For years, you have been vibrating in sympathetic resonance with each other's trauma. You strike your insecurity, it triggers their defense. They strike their withdrawal, it triggers your panic. What happens when you decouple your frequency? When you apply the alignment protocol, you recalibrate your own tuning fork. When your partner pulls away, instead of broadcasting panic, you anchor into your own center. You stay in the coherent heart state. 2 things can happen, and both are quantum certainties. First, evolutionary elevation. Because of quantum entanglement, your stable, coherent field pulls their nervous system into entrainment. They unconsciously drop their guard. They feel safe in your presence without understanding why. The dynamic heals spontaneously without a single exhausting argument. Second, harmonic decoupling. If the other person is fundamentally committed to staying in a dense, destructive frequency, your fields lose resonance. The relationship will naturally, cleanly, and peacefully dissolve without the agonizing drama or trauma bonds that kept you trapped in the past. Either way, you are free. Guided quantum integration practice. Wherever you are right now, unless you are driving, I invite you to close your eyes, put away all distractions, and step into the direct experience of this quantum shift. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your belly, your ribs, and your chest, and exhale completely with a soft, audible sigh. Let's do that once more. Inhale deeply, pulling the breath all the way down into the base of your spine, and release. Let your jaw unhinge. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Bring your awareness to the space between your eyes. Now become aware of the space around your head. Become aware of the space that your entire body occupies in this room. And now, become aware of the space beyond this room, the vast, unmanifested quantum field of pure potential. In this space, you have no name, no past, no story, and no problems to solve. You are pure, limitless conscious awareness. Now, gently bring to mind an area of your life where you feel stuck, a difficult relationship, an old emotional pain, or an underlying fear. Do not engage with the story. Do not think about who said what. Instead, scan your physical body right now. Where do you feel that vibration? Is it in the pit of your stomach, your throat, your heart? Locate it. Place your inner awareness directly on the center of that sensation. Observe it as if you were a scientist observing a star through a telescope. Notice its texture, notice its boundaries, breathe into it, and say internally, I see you, you are safe here, you can soften now. Now gently move your attention away from that sensation and place both of your hands over the center of your chest. Begin the rhythmic breathing. Inhale for 5 seconds, feeling your heart expand. Exhale for 5 seconds, releasing all tension. With each breath, imagine a radiant, warm, golden light igniting at the center of your heart. With every inhale, this light grows brighter. With every exhale, this light expands through your ribs, through your back, filling your entire torso. Now, call forward a feeling of profound gratitude. Remember a moment where you felt deeply loved, in awe of nature, or profoundly at peace. Feel that emotion not as a concept, but as a real, visceral sensation in your chest. Feel how your heart's magnetic field is expanding beyond your physical skin, creating a sphere of coherent, unbreakable harmony around your entire body. From this state of high-frequency coherence, see the version of you that is already living in complete emotional freedom. Look into their eyes. Notice how they carry themselves. Notice how they love without fear. Notice how secure, grounded, and peaceful they are. Now step forward into their body. Merge your awareness with theirs. Feel what it feels like to have your healing already completed. Feel the relief in your nervous system. Feel the profound truth. It is already done. Take one final deep, expansive breath into your heart. Hold it at the top for 3 seconds, letting this new frequency imprint into every cell, every strand of DNA, and every layer of your biofield, and exhale completely. When you are ready, gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and open your eyes. Daily integration and practice. Welcome back. What you just experienced is not a metaphor. Your brain waves dropped into alpha and theta states. Your nervous system transitioned into parasympathetic safety. Your heart field shifted into harmonic coherence. To make this shift permanent, here is your daily 3-minute protocol. Every morning before checking your phone, Spend 3 minutes in heart coherence breathing. Broadcast your baseline frequency into the day before the external world dictates it to you. Apply the 90-second trigger rule throughout the day. When someone triggers you, do not react immediately. Drop down into your physical body. Locate the physical coordinate of the sensation. Allow it to exist without story, and breathe through your heart until the wave passes. Perform an evening decoherence clearing. Before sleeping, review your day. If you felt friction or resentment with anyone, visualize cutting the chaotic cord and sending their field pure, neutral, zero-point awareness. Do not go to sleep carrying fragmented resonance. The journey of healing is not about fixing something that was broken. In the quantum field, the fundamental essence of who you are was never broken to begin with. You are simply remembering how to tune your instrument back to its native, universal harmony. If this brought clarity or shifted something inside your field today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing what emotional frequency you are choosing to release today and what new state you are stepping into. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your presence. Stay grounded, stay coherent, and I will see you in the next video.